One of the things, the coaches, I think, will all agree that we all try to work on daily is motivation. You know, how to motivate kids to get them to do things beyond the normal, you know. And one of the things that I used, and it worked very successful for me, was, I have meetings every day, daily with the kids after practice. We talk about the game, talk about different drills that we ran, so forth and so on. So one of the things that I incorporated in practice every single day was weightlifting. We did it religiously, before practice and after. And the kids, they loved it. But one thing in particular that I pulled from that and used as a motivational tool was I take 350 pounds of weight and put it on the barbells. And I pick probably the biggest kid in the room, and I tell him to, come up front, get on the bench. I said, now lift that 350 pounds. Well, of course, he tried in vain. I said, okay, hold on just a moment. Then I'd ask 6 guys from the audience, the team, to come up. I'd put 3 on each side of the barbell with the kid on the bench. And I tell them, now lift that 350 pounds. Boom. They lift that 350 pounds, no problem. And I tell them that's your first taste of teamwork. I said, if you can lift 350 pounds together, we can do anything together. And, that tool works for me every time. It gave them the ability to see you don't have to do things on your own. Everything we did, our motto was we did as a team. So, and I took that, and from that, it grew from if we ran laps after practice and one of your teammates couldn't make it, you help him. How do you do that? Maybe that means go by his house after practice and get him and run after practice. Get him to a point where he can do that. And once again, it grew from that into everything that we did. And I tell you, I had much, much success with that. And that's my quick story.
What was like the one thing that they absolutely had to adhere to as a representative of your football program?
Respect. Respect for themselves, respect for one another, respect for their parents. You couldn't play for me if you didn't do any of those things. And that was, and I can tell you also, in over 25, 26, 27 years of coaching, I never had to cut a kid. I never had to take a kid off the team because they always did that. And when we were in the community, that's what we did. We represented. Every year, I would take my team as a team. We'd go to shelters. We'd help serve food. We deliver baskets, food baskets to shelters in different neighborhoods, so forth and so on. As I said, everything we did as a team. And we always did it in our jerseys, so when we were out in the community, they knew who we were, And I tell you, everything from raking leaves to shoveling snow. If we had to do it, we did it as a team. We did it together. And my kids, I tell you, a lot of them come into my job now, and they'll tell me, Coach, things that you taught us, remarkably, they stayed with us in our own parenthood, And they still call me Coach. Some of them in their 40s and 50s now, And I think that's a testament, to God's will. And, the thought that everything you did, when you made a team, you were part of an elite group. So when you did things out in the community, make sure that you put your best foot forward. Everybody can't be on a team. And so when you do that, representative of the team, man, you're doing well. I made sure every football banquet, every player got a trophy. You know, I don't care if we finished with a winning record or a losing record, but it was a thought and me saying to them, look, I'm going to ask a lot of you. And in turn, I want you to ask a lot of me. So I have to basically put my best foot forward. If I ask you to wear a tie, I'm going to wear a tie. If I ask you to dress up before a game, I'm going to dress up before a game. And when they see those things and they see it in an older person or an adult, they tend to adhere to it a little easier, in terms of just, telling kids things. Sometimes you can tell them things till you blue in the face. They won't get it. But when they can see it and they see you carry it out in the community, it makes it a lot easier for them to follow up.
Excellent, Steve. That's all I needed right there. That was the perfect way to start this segment on my show. You did great.